Good morning, this is Miss Webb. I wanted to go over the answers to this notation worksheet with you because I got a lot of answers that were totally incorrect. Okay, and the first test is like half, it looks exactly like this. So you want to watch this video and we want to make sure we have the right answers. Okay, now you could not have done this with just typing. You would have had to have done, you would have had to open it in Doc Hub, and you would have to have been able to write on it because I don't know how to type the symbols in that you have to type. So when I ask for the geometric notation, I don't want to, you can use English, but when I ask for the notation, I don't want to see it in English. I want to see it with the little, the little notations that we went over, and I'll show you what I mean. So on this very first one, this first diagram, it has only one arrow here. That means it has to be a ray. I can refer to it as ray, and I have to start with the initial point B, A. But when I'm asking for the notation, what I'm really looking for here is B, A, and I have to have this little symbol up here. Okay? There's no other way you could write this one. You can't do AB because A is not the starting point. This is the only answer that I would accept. And I was kind of hoping with these little bitty lines you'd figure that one out. But I'll do better next time on the directions. On this one up here, this is a line segment. There's no arrows. And I'm going to do J, K, and I'm going to use the symbol for a line segment. I could have also done K, J, and a little line segment. Okay, nothing else would have worked. I would have taken either one because it doesn't matter the order. This next one is a line because it has two arrows here, and I could have written this one as VW or annotated it with VW, or it could have been WV, but again it has to be capital letters. This one down here, it has no arrows. It's a line segment. And I don't care if it's horizontal or vertical. For a line segment, I could have done M, N, capital with that, or could have done it like that. Anything else, though, would have been wrong. This one is a line because it has two arrows here. So I could have done it like this, D, F, or I could have done FD. Okay, this one here is a ray. All rays have to start with the initial point or the end point, and I'm going to say that's X, Y. Okay, if you wanted to do X, Y, and point it that way, I'm okay with that. But you have to start with X and tell me it goes in the direction of Y, and they have to be all capital letters. If you put anything else besides that, I won't accept it. If you put little letters, anything like that, not going to work. Okay, this is when we want you to draw the picture. So on this one it says I have a line that contains points G and L. So I do the line, has two arrows. There's one example. Here's another example. It doesn't matter the order of the points. Could have put them any way you wanted, and the line could have been horizontal or it could have been vertical. It doesn't matter. Now the ray is different though. This ray, you don't have as many options. It has to start with M and it has to go in the direction of K. Now notice I also said, and using the proper notation. So for this one right here, I'd also want you to do GL or LG would be the notation for it. This one up here, you can only have MK, nothing else. I won't accept anything else. It's a ray, the starting point is M and it goes in the direction of K. Now you have a segment with endpoints R and S. It doesn't matter where you put the R or where you put the S. Okay. And I would notate it with RS line segment on top. I also could put SR. I also could have drawn it with SR. That wouldn't have mattered. Okay, a plane that can be named P, Q, R, and B. Well, to be able to do that, I would have to do that. And then I'd have to have the points P, Q, R anywhere on the plane. I could also make them all part of a line. That wasn't a very good line. But as long as I have these points and they're all on my plane, then the notation is plane B, or I could say plane PQR. I could put plane QPR. I could do it whatever order I wanted them in. But if you did plane BRQ, that's wrong. Because the B here, it's scripted and it's a capital letter. That means it's not a point. And when you name a plane, you have to name it with 3 points or the capital letter scripted. Okay, 3 non-collinear points. That means I have to have 3 points that do not live on the same line. Okay, let's see. I got to have 3 of them that do not live on the same line. Well, if I picked B, then I can no longer include D or A because those would be on the same line. If I picked, let's see, E does not live on the same line, and F does not live on the same line. Those are 3 non-collinear points. But if I picked B, D, and A, that would be wrong because they all live on the same line. If I picked C, E, A, that's wrong because they all live on the same line. Okay? If I want to name the plane 2 different ways, notice the scripted R up here. I can say plane scripted R, or I can say plane, and I better pick 3 points on the plane. Do you notice that this guy here, see how it has those little dots there? That means that's like having the plane as a piece of paper, and I've taken a pencil and I've kind of stuck a hole in the paper. And so part of that line is off the plane going up, and the other part is down below. So you want to make sure you do not say plane and use F. As long as you use any of the other points, you could say A, D, B, in whatever order you want, but you have to have 3 of them. I won't accept just 2 letters. Okay, if I want 3 collinear points, they all have to live on the same line. Well, B, D, and A all live on the same line. You could have also put A, E, and C, and I'm going to put commas between them. They all live on the same line. Okay? I'm trying to think if there's any other possibilities. You could not, if you did E and D, you don't have a 3rd point. If you picked C and B, you don't have a 3rd point. Okay? Okay, name a pair of opposite rays, and this is where we have a tough time. If I picked D as my endpoint, I could have a ray going this way, DB, then the other ray would be DA. That would work. So whenever I talk about opposite rays, I have to have the same endpoint, same endpoint, and then the direction it's going in. Those would be 2 opposite rays. I could also pick, let's see if I got any others. I could also pick EA and EC. EA and EC. I do not see any others. You could not have used B because you'd only know C going in that direction. You don't have a point to tell me what direction it's going in for that way. Name 3 different segments. There's a whole bunch of them on here. I'm going to try to highlight them. Let me get my eraser and I'll highlight some of them. Let's see. This could be a segment, EC or CE. This could be a segment, BD or DB. Here's one, here's one. Do you see the differences there? It doesn't, as long as they're capital letters and you have only 2 of them, okay, then I'm good. So I have DE, BG, and I got EC. Remember, a segment, a line segment, is a portion of a line. What are the 3 other ways to name the line AC? Let's go get my eraser and let's look at this line here. Oh, I don't want to do that. Let's do this. So I have this line here, AC, and it extends forever going that way. And there's 3 points on there that I give you, A, E, and C. So I could name it line AC, CA. I could also name it CE because I only need 2 points on a line to name it. I could call it EC. I could call it AC. Oh, I already got AC in there. I could say it's AE. And it doesn't matter the order. They have to be capital letters, and you just have to pick one of the 3. You have to have 2 of them. It's got to either be A, E, or C. Okay, name 4 non-coplanar points. Well, you could put any 3 points you want, A, D, E, B, and C. And as long as the 4th one is F, then they are non-coplanar. So if I say B, D, A, as long as I have F in there, all 4 do not live on the same plane. I could put C, D, B. I can pick whatever points I want as long as I have that F, which is not in the plane. Then I have 4 non-coplanar points, 4 points that do not live in exactly the same plane. Okay, in geometry, it's really important to be precise. These are the only answers I would accept, okay? So you have to be really careful, and if you have any questions on if this is an acceptable answer on any of these, then bring it into the classroom and let's put it in chat and let's talk about it because I bet other people have the same question, okay?